What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're here with part 3 of if you're an American living abroad, tell me why you would never go back. These are definitely interesting, as I tell y'all. Said before in other videos, my goal, especially this year, going into next year for sure, to be traveling the world. Hey, it's Dartannon traveler, so I gotta travel, gotta do some type of traveling, but just to hear other people's experiences, it's definitely definitely interesting to hear and just see the different things. But we finna check this out. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations. Let's get into it.
If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
So I'm a U.S. American, and I've been living in Spain for the last 5 years. And for the first 3.5 years, my reasons would have been things like work-life balance and ease of travel, food, culture. But a year and a half ago, I became a mom, and my reasons for never moving back to the U.S. drastically changed. When my daughter was born, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with HIE, which is a brain injury. She was in the NICU for a week. We got very lucky that it was just a week. They administered several life-saving treatments to her in that week. Aside from that, I was in the hospital for 4 days, and we left that hospital without paying a single bill.
Wow.
So during that very difficult week of talking to multiple doctors and seeing what the future was going to hold, we never had to worry about how we were going to pay for all of this. Something that was nobody's fault and was just a thing that happened, unfortunately. So my daughter is now under the care of a neurologist for, if all goes well, 3 years. And I can't imagine having to pay for a pediatric specialist for what you can consider to be a pre-existing condition in the U.S. Like, how would I pay for that?
Man.
And before you start, I had insurance when I lived in the U.S. I had decent insurance, and I still don't know how I would afford all of those specialist visits, aside from just regular pediatrician visits.
Yeah.
And then
That's true, because insurance, I feel like it's still limits to insurance. People don't talk about that. Like, just because you got the best insurance, depending on what all you need, you still gonna have to keep coming out of pocket. There are a lot of limits to insurance, and we just think if you got the best insurance, you don't have to pay too much. It starts adding up real fast.
there's childcare. We pay about $200 a month for public daycare, and she goes for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and she is thriving. If we lived back in the States, it would mean I would have to quit my job, and just being a stay-at-home mom is not my journey. Or I would have to go back to working my 50, 60 hours that I used to work, and pay the bulk of my income to childcare, or hire a nanny, or depend on family members, older family members probably, to take care of her. Like, I don't know how y'all do it. I really don't. Hats off to you, because parenting is difficult in any country, but I don't know how you afford it in the U.S.
That's a fact. That's why I was fortunate enough. My mom worked at home, and my wife's mom, she was at home for a good amount of time at once upon. But just having my mom being able to stay at home and watch my son, that was major. Or just watch the kids in general when we have stuff to do or whatever. It's major. Like, I know childcare, what she said she pay a month. You're probably paying that or a little bit more a week, depending on where you are, where you're going and stuff. You're paying that in a week for. So if you only make $2,000, $2,500 a month, half of that is going to childcare. That's a fact. It's a lot of money. It is a whole lot, too much.
If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
First off, hi, I'm also an American living in Germany. I don't know that I could say I would never go back. It's just so absolute, and I don't know how my life would change in a few years. But what I can say about why I've stayed in Germany as long as I have is because of these social benefits. I mean, the sick leave, the employees' rights, the renters' rights, the paternal and maternal leave, good wages, infrastructure. I mean, the buses here, the U-Bahn, the S-Bahn, like the transportation is so reliable and so clean. And yeah, I mean, the recycling here is great.
That's a good thing.
There's incentive. It's a lot of reasons.
Stitch this. If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
That's an easy one. I live in the UK, so if I were to develop a medical condition that required constant care, or even an emergency situation where I needed immediate care, I wouldn't have to contemplate whether or not I could afford to take myself to the doctor, to the hospital. I could just go. And also, even though I'm never planning on having children,
I think this is like the main answer for like everybody when I watch these type of videos is just being able to afford to take care of
I
yourself.
could just go.
If
And
you're
also,
sick.
even though I'm never planning on having children, I don't have to worry about how much it's going to cost to buy them a bulletproof backpack.
If you're an American
She said
living
a
abroad,
bulletproof
please
backpack.
tell me why you would never go
Dang.
back.
Okay, so I definitely have like a whole list of reasons why. But number one thing is that I think I would be living out of a cardboard box if I lived in the States.
Dang.
Because my student loan payments are so high, and teaching in the States, you just don't make a lot of money. And I honestly think that I would be living out of a cardboard box or be living with my parents, and that that is not, nope. Another huge reason is like these three right here, my three loves. You can't see. Oh, there she is. I would not be able to have pets in the States. It is so expensive to own pets in the States. Here, like if they get sick and I take them to the vet, the most I've ever spent is like $250, which I mean, it's a lot, but it's nothing compared to what it would be in the States. And that was when Sadie was like really sick. Another reason, cost of healthcare. I just had to go to the ER like a couple weeks ago, and it cost me $43,000.
Loki, I think that's a new one. We wasn't talking about the dog health care out here, the puppy health care, the animal health
Cost
care.
of healthcare. I just had to go to the ER like a couple weeks ago, and it cost me $43,000 to go to the ER and to be there for hours and get tests done and get medicine included. $43,000, and I only paid like $100 for insurance a month. In the States, I was making $11,000 a year, and they were trying to charge me $300 or $400 a month, making $11,000 a year.
What the heck?
How are you supposed to afford that? And even with that, it wasn't good insurance. I would have still had to pay so much if I had to go to the hospital. Another reason is I feel so safe here. Korea is not as safe as people say it is, but it is still very safe. I mean, you still have to be very careful. Being a woman in any country, you have to be careful. But compared to the States, where I used to literally see gunshots, like the muzzle flares in my neighborhood when I was like a kid, in the States, I feel so much safer in Korea.
Dang, where's
and
she from?
just in general, my life here is so much better than I think my life could ever be in the States. So I came to Korea I told everyone I'm going to Korea, I'm never coming back, and it's been 3 years and I'm sticking with that.
If you're an American living abroad,
Korea.
please tell me why you would never go back.
Hey TikTok, it's Sedona Lee. I am an American abroad and I live in Leipzig, Germany.
Oh.
I have also lived in Europe another period of time for 10 years, and that was not a great fit for me. So the first thing that works is that I like where I'm at. The next thing that works is 15% of my income goes to my health care, and there are no surprise bills. The next thing is that my rent for my apartment is 25% of my income, not 70% like it was in Portland.
Ooh.
I live in a young and vibrant city where all kinds of people from all walks of life and any kind of person you could imagine lives here, and nobody bats an eye. That's why I love where I live. And the only way I would go back is if I was offered something better than I have here.
If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
Sure, I can give you my viewpoints. For context, I'm from South Carolina, but I live in South Korea. I've been here since May 2016. I'm in my classroom now, actually. Yeah, it's a big old classroom. Numerous reasons why I never want to move back to USA. One, the police, American police. Just knowing that, and even me, like when I was living in the U.S. before I moved to Korea, I always got scared of police because I was wondering in the back of my mind that, oh, if I do something wrong, if he pulls me over, what if he shoots me? What if I'm going to die if I get game over right then and there? And just knowing that, well, not just in Korea, but any other countries really, just knowing that, oh, the police, if they're going about their day, I can mind my business, I can do what I need to do and go back home safely. And I got to worry about them ever again. It's an amazing feeling. Reason number
That's a
two,
good thing.
healthcare. Just knowing that, if I ever get sick, I can just end up going to the hospital or medical center, get checked out, and go back home. And we don't have to worry about, am I in network, or will this hospital doctor, will they take my insurance? No. At least in South Korea, I can go to the hospital, whether it be a public or private medical center, get checked out, go home, pay the bill, and then go home, of course, and just never have to worry about being in debt ever again when it comes to medical care. Because nobody should have to be in debt for medical care. Just get health care. That should be a right, human right. I don't care what side of political spectrum you're on. Nobody should be in debt.
Should be a human right.
Just to say, or have to worry about, will my insurance cover it? Will my employer's insurance cover it? Or am I in network? No one should have to worry about that. You should worry about getting better, recovering, and go home. That's it. Also, number 3, I just don't have an incentive to move back to USA ever. Like most people who use family or friends, they miss their friends, their family. I miss them too. I miss my family. I miss my friends. Except Bryson Corday. I hate you, Jamal Simmons. I hate you, Reggie Timmons. Now I'm joking. Love you guys. But I just don't have that incentive to move back so quickly. Unless I have absolutely no choice to move back, then I'll do it. But for now, I just don't have it. Lastly, for me, I feel that if I ever move back to USA, I'll probably lose my confidence. I'll probably lose my independence. Because for me, at least, living abroad in general, it can't be Johnson.
That's a good thing, because I know that's super, super different, and it's just a new way to you gotta accustom to life. It's one of those things to where you have to. It's almost like, I would say, you starting over, but it's a good start. Sometimes change is good, But I feel like I need to find a video. I wonder if some of these people that did these TikTok questions would take us a day in the life type thing. I think that would be cool, man. I think that would be real cool. So we can kind of see the day in the life of, American living abroad. I don't know if I found a video of that yet, but I might have to look and see if somebody did it. 'Cause I think that would be interesting.
I felt more confident. I felt more accomplished. I've done more things that I would have ever done if I ever lived in the U.S. Like, for example, I became an author. I wrote 2 freaking books. Books. And I'm kind of working on my 3rd book right now. And I would have never done so. I wouldn't have pushed myself to do so if I have stayed in the USA. And also COVID happened too. That also pushed me to do that too. But but yeah, like I said, I miss my family. I miss my friends. And then, yes, I do miss shopping because I'm a giant. I can't buy clothes in Korea.
Dang.
But, other than that, I just can't think of a good reason to move back to the USA. I'll go back to visit, but I ain't moving back.
If you're an American living abroad, please tell me why you would never go back.
I'm not American, but I live in America and I travel quite a bit. This brand new 1-bedroom apartment costs only about $400 a month. And this right here is the view that I wake up to every single day.
That is nice.
I can easily get a digital nomad healthcare, which costs about $40 a month. I don't have to be force-fed bullshit by the media about being black. I don't have to worry about being shot to death in a shopping mall by some angry narcissist. Although I make more, but I can easily live on $1,000 a month if I wanted to. Now I can actually afford nice things, go to nice dinners with friends without having to worry about some unexpected expense coming up. Look, I can go on and on and on. And while I'm grateful that I can even call myself a US resident despite my background, there is so many things I would change.
If you're an American living abroad, please
That was a nice... Did he even say where he was right now? Because that was a nice view outside of that apartment.
Never go back.
Okay, so this is mine.
Hi, TikTok. So I'm an American living in Germany.
I don't live abroad yet. I plan on retiring soon and moving to Iceland. I can't get citizenship in Iceland until I've lived there for a couple of years. But all the reasons everybody else is putting about why they wouldn't want to live here, I understand. The Nordic countries have their act together big time. And there would be no chance that Trump would ever be president there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But yeah, these are definitely interesting. I think I would love to see a day in the life. Just what I mean, you ain't gotta go into far details or with just showing us around type thing. That would be real cool. But definitely, I might start a podcast where I just get people on that from different countries and stuff, so we can learn a little bit more just in the life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's important to learn just different things and hear about different things from everywhere. You know, everybody is different. We still gotta embrace the differences. We gotta embrace whatever other people believe in and stuff. It's okay to learn. You just learn about other people. Like, whatever you believe in, if that's what you stick to, that's what you know, do that. But, you know, we still gotta respect what other people believe in and just learn and see, you know, why they do what they do, why they say what they say type thing, you know, and just love people anyway. But that's all I have, guys. Y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, send down those recommendations. Hey, y'all be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.